Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. I'm Florent from Key System. I'm responsible for the partnerships there for the past 8 months. I'm French, as you can maybe tell from my accent. I'm with my colleague Vendril, which is a regional manager for the Switzerland part. And we're here today to talk about what is a digital backbone, what we name it at Key System, and how we aim at becoming one at Key System and really transform wealth management. But just before that, I wanted to take 2 minutes to set up the context about Key System, because maybe you don't know about us. We are a 15-year-old company, based initially in Monaco, created in 2009. I'm from Monaco. But we opened Key System SA in Switzerland in 2012. And we have been acquired in 2021 by a large group from Luxembourg named Eben, owned by Pierre Dalmas, which is a serial entrepreneur in Luxembourg. And we are a PMS, so maybe a lot of you are familiar what a PMS is, so portfolio management software. So we address all the classical stuff from a PMS, meaning consolidation, performance analysis, risk analysis from your portfolio, and so on. Our expertise is really on the aggregation with custodian banks, because we connect with more than 120 banks in all Europe to fetch the data every morning, so position, price, movement, transaction, to feed the tools that is KeySense. We have also a CRM module in the tool, so meaning you can log the events with your clients, documents, and so on. We have a compliance and risk module, which is really interesting for compliance officer in wealth management companies. And finally, a more like an administrative management module, which is more apparently to back office, that is also handled in the tool. We address wealth management companies as well as family office, single and multi, and also private banks, because our first and historical clients, by the way, is Julius Baer Wealth Management in Monaco that we've been working with since now 14 years. We have over 50 clients, mainly in Switzerland, Monaco, and Luxembourg, but also in France, in Belgium, Netherlands, and Portugal since last week. So that's it for the context. And now I wanted to dip in and go in the subject of the digital backbone, because after discussing with our clients for more than 10 years, we came to the realization that there was one challenge increasingly in the past few years, is that wealth managers are required to diverse their investments, to look into not only equities, but real estate, crypto, structured products, any kind of investments. And all these investments, all this asset class have their own specificities, their own indicators that they have been to follow. It can be really complex. And a PMS such as Key System, they often are very general software that skim over certain topics and they don't deep dive in this topic. And the consequence is that for the wealth managers, they have to equip with a lot of tools. You have to have tools for the private equity, you have a tool for real estate, you have a tool for each asset class. And in addition of tools that are related to asset class, there are also what I call auxiliary tools, like accounting, CRM, aggregation tools. So that makes a lot of tools. And there is a domino effect to this. The downfall is that there are a lot of startups, mainly highly specific and expert startups that have risen in the last years, really focusing on tailored product, tailored reporting, and it can be really hard internally to choose between one another. Me on my side, I see it just on the PMS part when we are discussing with wealth management companies, and there are, let's say, 2 or 3 other PMS in discussion with us in parallel. It can take up to 1 year to select one PMS for the wealth management company. So if you duplicate this decision process over, let's say, 4 or 5 tools, it can take up to several years to only equip fully the wealth management companies. And there is another price to pay to this numerous number of tools, is that sometimes these tools aren't interconnected between one another. It means that when you store data in one tool, you have to store it again in another tool, so it can take time. There is also a security issue, because if you have, let's say, 5 tools with different servers every time, it can increase the risk of a breach of security in the data. There is multiple user interface, so it can be really hard to log with a dedicated account, password, 2FA, etc. security on each tool, and all this really harm the user comfort and the way you're working internally. So this is why we decided to shift the vision a few years ago at Key System and to aim at becoming what we call a digital backbone for our clients. So basically, we use our expertise of aggregation from the custodian banks, as I was talking before. So really our expertise at Key Systems since 15 years is to connect with bank, aggregate the data, and use them to feed the tool. And we use this expertise and made it an open system to easily integrate other partners. And the downfall to this is that we decided to team up with experts along the way, along the value chain for wealth managers, and to integrate relevant partnerships, relevant actors at one point or another, and to set up API with these actors to really address all the needs that a wealth manager can have in this day-to-day work. So how we do this? We aggregate the data, as I said before, so our expertise here is to aggregate the data. We diffuse it from direct, we set API with the different actor. So we fetch the data from the actor and we take it in the tool, and then we restitute it. So meaning that we are able to automatically, from the different actors that we set up API with, to automatically set up the indicators, set up to retrieve the indicators and all the data, and to either put it in the tool, so the name is KeySense of our tool, or in the reporting tool that the wealth manager is then able to provide to the final clients. And this was really for the theoretical part, because it was mainly how the vision we decided to draft a few years ago. Now I'm going to share with you some concrete use case and some partnership that we are really proud of and that we made in the past few months. So the first use case I want to present to you is the ESG module. I know that in Switzerland, ESG is not really looked at the moment, but it is really, really looked at in Luxembourg and in the rest of Europe. So that's why we decided to go on this way. So basically, we set up a partnership with Sopiad. Sopiad is a Belgian company based in Liège, and they are experts on ESG research, monitoring, scoring, and reporting. And we decided to embed their platform directly on KeySense. KeySense is the name of the tool. So basically, when you are on a portfolio view within KeySense, you can have access to their platform, meaning that you can set up an ESG questionnaire for your clients, so for the end user, the client of the wealth manager. So you can set up his preference on ESG. It can automatically send the data to Sopiad and align the portfolio of your client with his ESG questionnaire and profile, and then it sends back a full analysis of the portfolio of the client and how it is situated compared to its ESG. It can also allow you to make simulation, to see where you should sell, what you should buy, where you should invest to really be more aligned with your client needs and wants regarding ESG. Lately, we also deal with Silex, so maybe you have heard of Silex. They are among the leaders in structured products, and basically we made a partnership with them too to allow you, so it's pretty simple. When you have the term sheet from the structured product that you bought, you send it to Silex to populate their platform, and then the connection we've made with Silex allow us to fetch the data from Silex and to directly go and fetch it and put it in our reporting. So I put here a simple screenshot of an example of a reporting, and you have a lot of precise data on the structured product that you bought. So for instance, investing amount, market value, underlying, capital protection barrier price, etc. All these data that are in Silex platform are directly fetched into our reporting for your clients. We also work with a lot of data providers, which is basically normal for a PMS. We can work with data providers or custodian banks to fetch the data, but we went a bit further with Morningstar, because Morningstar, we created a dedicated channel with them to allow transparency of funds to automatically come from Morningstar to the portfolio review in KeySense. So for instance, when you buy a fund, you just don't want to know that you've bought X amount in a fund, but you want to know what's the underlying percentage of equity, of real estate, crypto, etc., you name it. With this dedicated channel with Morningstar, where we are able to automatically fetch the underlying and put it in KeySense. And the last one I wanted to show you was the investment possibilities, because when we discussed it with wealth manager, they've told us that they could be really interesting in having access to, different opportunities to invest. And that's why we teamed up with, these are the three examples, Monaco Foundry, SMATS in Switzerland, and Estating, which is a bit more European, to allow the wealth manager to have access to rare and, let's say, not common investment opportunities like private equity, crypto, you name it. And for instance, I just put a screenshot of our main dashboard on KeySense, and there is on the right the integration with Monaco Foundry, and these are deal flows that the wealth manager can go in and scroll down to see if there is interesting deal flow to invest for its clients. So all this was just to facilitate the way our clients could have access to investment possibilities and facilitate the way to invest and to follow those investments. There are a lot of other partnerships that I could have mentioned. There are other ideas in the pipe that we are digging in right now. So just to conclude, to summarize what we said, so we know that a PMS really can't address everything because it's not the role of a PMS. And what we decided to do at KeySystem is transform the way wealth management was doing by integrating and team up with actors, with experts on certain domain. I could have mentioned also the partnership we had on cloud-based storing. We have also a partnership for electronic signatures that we directly work with in the tool. We have partnership, for instance, with Polixis or AP Solution, which allow to, when you have a name of your client, you can automatically screen the client and look for, is it a politically a personality, is there any related danger to this person, etc., etc. I'd be more than happy to have any question from you. As I said before, I'm responsible for partnerships, so if you have really technical question or financial question, my colleague Vendry maybe is more here to answer. And if you have any partnership ideas that I didn't talk about and that could be interesting for you as wealth manager, or if you want to discuss it, I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you. Thank you very much for having listened to me. And that's it. Is there any question? No? Yeah?
Portfolio management systems, what markets do you cover?
Markets, basically, you say like asset class or country? Every country in Europe. So we have initially we're based in we're from Monaco and Switzerland, but we have now offices in Luxembourg. But we have clients like France, Netherlands, Belgium, Portugal, Spain. So every. Yeah.
Regarding equities,
yeah.
Do you cover only European markets or also Asian, North, South American?
For the equities position, no, we covered all the markets, not only European. I thought you were asking about the clients we have. No, we cover all the markets for equities. Yeah, sure. Is there another question? Yeah. Yeah.
And that you send us back what according to specific parameters, the ideal portfolio would be?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. We can dig into that, yes. No problem. I'll give you my card after so we can dig into it.
Do you also work with AI or not yet?
This is a topic for next year, yes. Our CEO is really interested into AI because it's really on the hot topic at the moment, and he went last month to a conference, AI conference in the United States, to integrate AI into our structure and our software. So this is more a topic for in discussion right now and for next year to be really implemented. Yeah, we are looking into AI. You're welcome. Yes?
Does it need any integration on the bank side in terms of system?
What do you mean? Like, do we work well with core banking system? For instance, we have one client is OnBank. I don't know if you heard of it. They have their own core banking system for the portfolio analysis stuff, but they really liked our compliance and CRM modules. So we integrate with them to be able to allow them to use only the CRM and compliance and still use the core banking system they already use, because we know that private banks, most of the time, they already are equipped with more specific, more tools that are more relevant for them, but they can use some part of KeySense.
Okay. And it will be you do the integration of that, or you work with consulting firm?
No, we do everything internally. Most of the people of the team are located in Monaco, mainly 30 people, and among them, 15 are dedicated to integration and onboarding. We don't work with third parties because we want to do everything internally.
Can you elaborate a little bit more about the compliance and
Yeah. So in the tool, you are able to, when you create a client, for instance, you have a new client, you create the person, you are able also to integrate your own compliance questionnaire to, like a KYC, to do a KYC for the clients and to answer your questionnaire with scoring, and then you have a compliance scoring according to the person or to the client. And then with that score, you are able to set up also, I don't know how to say in English, but file review, automatical file review, depending on the score, meaning if it's medium, high or low risk, you will have different alerts and different setup of alerts. And then you have also access to a specific dashboard with the specific metrics to follow when you're a compliance officer, meaning the creation, the modification, the cancellation of accounts, all the compliance workflow that are in validation by the compliance officer. There are a lot of, I could show you in another time, but there are a lot of metrics for a compliance officer to follow on a dedicated dashboard.
Do you also cover company risks or just in with relation to the client?
Company risk, I'm not sure what you mean.
The risks that are in your company.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. We can also manage company risk, yes. Not only to the person, but also to the company or the portfolio. Any more? Yes? Some price indication? Yeah, sure. It really depends. We are not based on AUM, so it's not depends on the asset under management you have. It's really, so there is a price for the license, which is 900 euros per month just to use the license. And then you have to add price for the number of users and the number of banks that you want to interface automatically. As I said before, you know, we aggregate the data from the banks. So either you choose to integrate a bank and have it automatically, and then it's 250 euros per bank per month, or either you don't integrate it and do it manually, and it's not chargeable. And then it's 300 euros per user per month.
900 license, 300.
Yes. And there is two types of users. There is full users with full access, modification, creation. This is 300. And we have also had more like a light user, more just to see and have access to the tool, but not do anything, and it's 200 euros. It's cheaper. And of course, these pricing are really lowering depending on the number of banks. If you have like 50 banks to integrate, it would be much lower than 250 euros per bank. It's really depend on the price then. And then there is also all the partnerships I was talking about before, all this. We, of course, have a specific pricing with those partnerships because we work with them, so we are able to propose a lower price than if you were going to them alone. But these are prices to add if you want, for instance, the ESG module, if you want, for instance, to work with CDEX, Transparency on Fund with Morningstar, you have to pay for these modules in addition to the price I just gave you. Is it clear for you? Yeah. Any more question? If you want, I can give my card to anyone who wants to have either this presentation or maybe more information about the price, about partnerships. If you want to have more details, I can send it by email tomorrow, next week. So I just leave my card here for anyone who wants to take it, and I'll be more than happy to give you more details about it. Are we good? Yeah? Thank you for having listened to me. Have a great end of the event, and see you maybe later. We have a stand also in the entrance if you want to speak a bit more with us. We just had the entrance with Vandril.